Hey, good looking. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're doing How Well Did I Dupe the Too Faced Sunset Strip Palette. It's not very often that I get to actually have the answer sheet in front of me, but today I do. So thanks so much for joining me. If you guys are hanging out on the replay, just make sure you guys leave a comment down below. I swear my hair looked better in some different lighting, but that's okay. That's okay. We are live streaming in the evening, so as I lose natural daylight, I have my studio lights here, so we're good to go, but I'm going to look a little washed out. So it was April, I put out a Sunset Strip duping the vibes. It was a brand exclusive and it was Sydney Gray. Sorry, I'm like smacking the table over here and I'm pretty sure that that is moving my webcam, but nonetheless, I put out a video and I went off some swatches, and Leah Janae had gotten a hold of the palette and I looked at her swatches, made my own dupe palette of the Sunset Strip. And today we're going to take a look and see how close did I get to the actual Sunset Strip. Then I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a look because I'm looking a little Moretti, and afterwards see if there's any other shades that I would put in place of the shadows that I picked out for Sydney Gray. So we'll just kind of have free reign to look around and see what I've got. Only doing one camera today, folks, because the wonderful Wizard of Oz. No, not really, but this is a prime time for people to be on their internet, and actually my laptop doesn't have an Ethernet port, so I can't connect hardwired. So we are wireless. So I do apologize if there's any lag. Let me know down below. And if you guys hop on, say hello in the comments. So, okay. So I started out going through and duping this brand exclusive, and you guys can see this palette up here. If I can get it for you guys. So I had that brand exclusive. These are all Sydney Gray shades. I have them right here in front of me. I pulled them out. That video is going to be linked for you guys down below. I'll also go ahead and just post it right now, and you guys can check it out if you want to on the replay, or not on the replay, but you know, whenever you're ready. I don't know how to pin this. Oh no, that's not what I really wanted to do. Okay, so anyways, I'm sipping on some kombucha. We're not doing coffee right now because coffee at 5 o'clock in the evening for me would not be good. So I don't know. Normally 5 o'clock is kind of quitting time for me. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. We'll start out with the first shade in the palette, Summer Magic. You guys will see a nice swatch here. It's just a matte, creamy, warm tone beige. So Too Faced, it is High Tide. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a swatch of that. How am I going to do this? This is going to be a little interesting coming from the whole, like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I like any of that really, but okay. And then here is Summer Magic. Gonna go ahead and put that up for you guys. You can't really see it, but there they are. And then next up, we have Morning Star. No, actually, I think I went down. Yeah, I went down. So Spring Fling's the next one. And this is from the video that I have pinned, or not pinned for you guys, but linked for you guys. So you can see Spring Fling right there. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a live swatch again. I meant to load up. Ooh, this got a bit of a duochrome vibe going to it. So like it, like it, like it. This is Shall We Dance? And I use Springtime from Sydney Grace. I may have to add some like lotion because I can tell we're not getting a very good We're not getting a good stick, folks. So I'll just add like a smidge of a little bit of lotion. And then we'll create a look, one from each palette and on each eye. Okay. Go ahead and swatch that again for you. Yeah, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. There you go. Those are the two side by side. Actually, not as bad as I thought they were going to be. All right, let's check out the next one. Morning Star. From Sydney Grace. And that is right here. Swatched for you live. Okay, and that is duping out Suns Out for the Sunset Strip. Whoa. Sorry. There we go. Oh, we are losing sunlight fast. Okay, so looking like it is quite a bit lighter. But there you go. Those are the two. Maybe I should just like do them on the back of my hand and just each and every single one. Let's check out the next one. San Diego. Okay, I actually have not looked at these two side by side at all. I went back through, watched my video. Let me just say, I can confirm I have ADHD. So here is Nude Beach from Too Faced. Here is San Diego from Sydney Grace. You can see this has got a more red tone. This is probably a little bit more on the yellow side. So those are the difference. I think I'm just gonna have to swatch them on the back of my hand every single time. Just because like showing you guys this is really kind of difficult to see. So, okay, let's go ahead and move over to the next one and see what we got. This one is going to be a matte brown hot chocolate. In for Sun Chaser. I'm building up the swatch on that one there for the arm swatch. Okay, Sun Chaser and hot chocolate. I can already tell this is gonna be super dark. See the difference? Sun Chaser, hot chocolate. Hard pan. It also comes with some of your Sydney Grace shades, so there you go. I don't know how to stop that like traveling thing. I forget what it's called, but I don't remember how to stop it. I do know it has something to do with my lights. Okay, let's take a look at the next shade. It's a Sydney Grace. It's a really, really good shade, and it is Paris. Probably. Oh, was it Paris or was it the Turtle Doves? It might have been Turtle Doves that I did next, but it is in place of Surfboard. Okay, so here is Surfboard. Oh, wow. Looky there. No, that is not Surfboard. That was Turtle Dove. Sorry. I was like, wow. You go, Too Faced. And then here's Too Faced's Surfboard. I'm going to give you another swatch. Actually, not really too bad. Okay, so when you bend, you can see two different undertones, but the shine's pretty good. Like that's pretty close. I mean, I wouldn't argue. I thought it was going to be like way more different. I really did. Let's take a look at the next shadow. I think actually that was supposed to be Paris, but here's Paris. Let's just take a look at it. Like I said, I have ADHD, so you'll have to excuse some of my fun ways. Okay. So here is Paris, and I think it's supposed to be in place of Shell, yeah, but I might have flip-flopped them. I'm not really sure. I went back through the video. I don't know how y'all stay with me this long. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel because it's real good fun. I'm trying to figure out what I use as far as shadows for duping the vibes. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think this was supposed to be for something else. But anyways, there is Paris, and then the other one is Shell. Yeah, and you can see right here, like when you see them, you can see that the Sydney Grace form has sufficiently more pigment than the Shell, yeah, which is right here. Whoop. It's almost like a topper shade. And Sydney Graces always have like great opacity. So, okay, let's move on to the next shade. Honesty. That's for Butter Pecan. That is a beautiful Sydney Grace shade. That one is probably one of my more favorite ones. All right, so here is Honesty. And then here is Butter Pecan. I did not get a good enough swatch on that. Oh, actually, it's just that light. So there we go. Oh, wow, thank you. I hope I never find it again. So these two, I don't even know if you could really blend them out to be the same because these are really not even close in saturation. They're not close in like tone, but that is what I use. So let's go ahead and take a look at Golden Hour versus the Sydney Grace shade French Hens. Let me give you guys the swatch for French Hens. That'll be the next one that's coming up. Okay, there is French Hens. I'm just building up that swatch for you guys. And you can see it there. It's pretty vibrant, almost leaning like mango. So definitely on the peachy side. Ooh. Here we go. French Hens. Build up that swatch. And then Golden Hour. Not too bad. On the eyes, I think they would look very similar. There you go. Like, should I just turn this off? I feel like it doesn't really help. There we go. All right. Next up, let's look at Hey Honey, and I think it's either Blaze or Desert Sun. So yeah, it's Desert Sun. Let's go ahead and take a look. I might have flip-flopped them. Did that say Desert Sun? Yes, it did, because the next one is Blaze. Okay. So Hey Honey and ooh, Desert Sun. Desert Sun. Hey, honey. I think these are going to be really pretty close once you get them on the lid. I mean, you're looking at, a couple inches by half an inch of a swatch. So you're going to be able to see any tonal differences. But realistically, when you're, they're side by side, probably not going to see very much difference. And then also, they're very close in formula. And also the mattes are very close in formula too. So that's something else to admire. Not the topper shades, but the actual shimmers from the Too Faced are pretty close. Let's go ahead and check out Blaze. In the swatch here, it's very, very vibrant. All right, just grabbing a swatch of Blaze and then grabbing right here. It's called So So Hot. So that's where we're at. So So Hot, it's not swatching. It's a little more tackier. There you go. Those are fairly close. I will say this is sufficiently more shiny. Blaze is more shiny from Sydney Grace than So So Hot. But tonal wise, they're pretty stinking close, are they not? I'm feeling like a vibrant orange look coming on. Let's take a look at the next shade. That was Lords a Leaping. I'm building that swatch up for you. Those deeper shades, you just have to build them up. Whoops. There we go. So yeah, definitely building up those darker shades, darker browns. You'll see from both of them that you'll have to kind of build them up. All right, let's go ahead and grab swatches. Ooh, I want to make sure that I don't have wet fingers. Here's Sydney Grace's Lords of Leaping. And Chai Times is what it's called in the Too Faced palette. So there's Lords of Leaping. Chai Time. Not too bad, not too bad. Let me go ahead and grab one more swatch for a build-up. One is a little more brick / terracotta. The other one's a little bit more plummy. Lords of Leaping's a little bit more plummy. I don't know why. There we go. I had like a divot in my hand that I was just grazing over. But there you go. This one blends out a little bit more orange. So Plummet. Deep chocolatey brown in for Cocoa Glow. We're going to see a swatch of that real quick. Ooh, definitely plummy and definitely got that purple vibe. So it is not a good swatcher. None of my Sydney Grace deeper shades like this are very good swatchers. Makeup Geek was never a good swatch. Some formulas, that's just the way they are. But as long as they perform well and build up well and I don't have patchiness and it doesn't like flake off, I'm really happy for that. So there's those two. So Kathleen, you say that you think they're pretty but very similar shades. You wouldn't know how to make them look dimensional. Are you talking about the deeper shades or are you talking about those like golden blaze versus So So Hot and Hey Honey? So those are those two. This one here almost has like an olive undertone. I did. You know what? Let me just see if it'll let me. That's not what I wanted. That's me getting that in focus. Hang on just a second, but wait. Little technical difficulty. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you guys. Yes, I did actually do a tutorial. Sorry about that. That was like amateur hour stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on mute just so that I stay like my audio is not like crazy wonky bad. But yes, I did a really smoky eye and I tried to just like smoke it out as much as possible. And you guys can see this is live. This is the unedited version. I should have probably brought in the actual edited video, but that's okay. That's what we're here for, to have fun and be live. So, but yes, I did a smoky, like as dark as I could eye because when Leah Janae did this and originally picked it up, she was like, I just don't think you could really get a very smoky look from it, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? I am going to see how smoky I can get these Sydney Gray shades to work for me. So that's what I did. The golden shades, yeah. They don't have much dimension. And then also something to note, the Too Faced Sunset. Sorry if I'm like, I keep hitting my microphone. Hopefully that's not disturbing anyone. I have blue eyes also and orange. Yes, yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back to this other one. And take a look at some of those. I'll go ahead and there we go. Okay. So that was the shade Forever Enough. And we're going to see that one swatched out. And it is in place of Bonfire Babes. I'm already going to tell you right now, I went towards the plummy side of things. That is very plummy compared to the Too Faced Sunset Strip. Too Faced Sunset Strip, you can even see it right here. It is very like brown. It's a shade of brown. So here you go. That is Sydney Grace's Plummet. Live swatch there for you. And this is Bonfire Babes. Not very close. Although I can see where I would have trended towards this just because it makes the palette cohesive. When you really look at things, it just looks like a wave now, but it, you know, it kind of stays nice and plummy and it does stay really nice and cohesive. So that might have been why I trended that way. Just because I do try to factor in those types of things. Like if somebody, especially when I do brand exclusives, I will almost always go for a cohesive palette arrangement and stuff that you can make some really good eye looks with versus trying to match, you know, shade for shade exactly in the palettes. Generally speaking, I don't have any problems. Oh, we're staining. I'm staining. Anyways. But let's go ahead and finish up with Sandy Cheeks and Tiara. I think you guys will love and enjoy this. Tiara is probably like one of my favorite Sydney Gray shades ever of all times. And I'm just building up that swatch. And that is in place of the shade Sandy Cheeks. So right here, you can see the two, and I grabbed it from up here. This was explained by Leah Janae as like a topper shade, kind of a duochrome type of vibe. So I went with Tiara because Tiara kind of has a duochrome vibe. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it or not because I've really got the lights like blowing me out. But it is a warm silvery taupe. And then, wow, I didn't need to use that much, but there you have it. And then there is Sandy Cheeks. Definitely very different in formulation on those shades right there. But Kathleen, you say my eyes are hazel with dark green. I bought a bronze, which I think helps make the eye color pop, but has a shimmer. Any recommendations for a matte for daytime still pop the eyes? Ooh, so I would go with your like cranberry browns. This is Lords of Leaping, and this is Plummet. Is that a little bit too deep for you? That brings out the green in your hazel because green and red are opposite. And oops, this cranberry has those red undertones in it. I think more Lords of Leaping than Plummet because I think Plummet has more of the plum tones in it, but I think that would be a very nice matte for a daytime pop to the eyes. I always like to use cranberry colors. I'm trying to think of what row it was in the Makeup Geek Matrix. I think it was like pinks. Is that what they called it? Yes. Thank you, Eric. So he says maroons. Those are great. And I agree. Maroons, cranberries, those kinds of colors, burgundies, those will work really well. If those are too deep, I'm trying to think. Oh, I'd have to look in the Sydney Grace. So, okay, let's go ahead and get back to the last shade. And that's going to be Beyond. Oh, and I'm just showing you can kind of use it like a topper shade, but it's definitely very much more opaque than the Too Faced one. So that was that little portion of it. And that is Tiara. This is a really, really dark, dark chocolate brown. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but there we go. And it's kind of like a charcoal brown. I really, really like these types of colors. In the Born This Way, what's it called? Sunset Strip. Not Born This Way. It says Born This Way right here in the palette. So that, okay, Black Sand is what it's called, but it's kind of like this anything but black is what I call them. There you go. Very, very close, very similar. And they feel very, very close and very similar in swatch. So there you guys have it. Let's get some eyeshadow on the eyes. I grabbed my brushes. So I'll try to use similar brushes for each side, but I don't think it really matters. I mean, we're just having some fun here. Okay. I'm going to sit really, really close so you guys can hopefully see. This will be Too Faced Sunset Strip. Let's do that, right? And this will be Sydney Grace. So grabbing a Smith 232, and I'm buffing Butter Pecan into the crease. Now I gotta remember what I'm doing here, folks, because I'm not used to doing tutorials. Ooh. I did put a little bit of mascara on the eyes just so I didn't look like washed out. And I will also, you know what? Let me just go ahead and like turn on the light there. Because we are like pretty much dark outside where I'm at. So grabbing. Oh yeah, you can see my arm nicely there. There's really like no other way to do this in real time than just to like sit here and talk to you folks. So leave me any kind of comment below on some video ideas that you guys have that you'd like to see based off of what you know. Okay, so I'm just going to set that sucker down. Grabbing a Shikoto, it's their My Destiny line, and I do have a brush review on that. I can link it below if I remember about it, but I think the shade that I'm grabbing is San Diego. No, it's Honesty. It's going to be that shade. Yeah, fourth shade over. This one's gonna lean a little bit more pink. And I should just grab this little guy right here. Oh, wow, and it's definitely I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but definitely way more pigmented. I was going to switch over. Wow, it's not letting me. I was gonna try and, like, listen to my own audio because I can't with that microphone plugged in. It actually blocks my, head jack or my 3.5 millimeter jack. It's just craziness. I really shouldn't probably dip in again, but well, let's do it anyways, shall we? Sydney Grace is just, like, so pigmented as far as this shade goes. I'm gonna buff it down here. This brush is a little bit more, like, bigger than I think my Smith is, so I don't have as much control, so that's why I pinched that ferrule, choked up, put a little definition in there, and you can see, this right here, I should probably go ahead and dip in one more time. It is sufficiently lighter, just, you know, I don't know if going back, if I would have picked up the same Sydney Gray shade, so we can look at a couple of replacements. I picked these palettes up when they were like half off, and then Too Faced offered another like 10-15% discount or something. So I think I got it close to like 20-22 bucks or something like that. Let's jump into a pinched ferrule brush, staying with the Smith side, 247. Ooh, what do you think, folks? Let's build up a nice crease. Sun Chaser. Yeah, let's do that. In the Sunset Stripped palette, it's definitely darker, but in my, well, I guess it is darker in my Dupe palette as well. I'm floating this in the crease just slightly above my actual real crease. I'm kind of forming my own suggestion of a crease. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm just kind of buffing that in right above my crease because I do have hooded eyes and I don't have a whole lot of real estate there. So just kind of giving myself the illusion of more lid space than I actually have. Dip in one last time, just add a little bit more dimension on this outer third. And then as I finish up with the pigment, I'll just kind of feather in what's left over. So I might have to back out with another brush here. I kind of arch, you know, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I kind of arch over here. Not, I don't bring it down as far into my crease. When I like to round it out. That gives me more room to put shimmer in that false crease, if you will. And then I'm just going to back out, grab my other Smith brush that has some of that butter pecan, add a little more, and just kind of buff into the Sun Chaser. And just kind of build up a little bit. Okay. So looks nice. Do I have another brush with me? Yes, MAC 217, grabbing the shade. Let me look at my notes. It's called Hot Chocolate. This is going to be really dark. I think this is where we're going to see the difference. Oh, or will we? It's not that bad. Look at that. That is interesting. On camera, you can't see as much difference, but in real life, like I can definitely see when for each type, shade, or crease. Ooh, a brush battle. That would be good. We could do that. I am actually editing a video with brushes right now. It's really boring, by the way. Not the video, not the video, the editing that has to come along with when you do brush videos. There's just no way around, livening up that type of material. I'm gonna dip in one last time, probably not for the better, but here we go. And you just kind of bring that around. All right, back out. I think it's Honesty or whatever that shade is. Just kind of go in, fluff in a little bit, blend that out. This is where it gets a little bit different with Sydney Grace versus the Too Faced. I think that this stays a little more golden. This is probably, I don't know. My right eye looks better already. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Ever since, so I was really against Too Faced for a long time. And then when they switched the CEOs, Jared and his partner resigned, I kind of was like, I'm okay going back to them. I just didn't really care for their behavior and their attitude towards some of the stuff and just the way that they did things. I am going to, well, I guess this is just the way life's going to be. Try and just put a little bit more pigment into my eyelid on the left here with the Too Faced. Build up a little bit. Because see, I mean, I'm built up quite a bit there. This is definitely a more sandy, and this is definitely more like plummy purple. I like both of them. I like both of them. Yeah, I would say Too Faced is not as pigmented as Sydney Grace, which I always thought that we might see a difference. Let me hold my tongue. We might see the difference when we get into the deeper shades. So let's use this Lords of Leaping, and that way we can see um, kind of the crimson, the burgundy. So Chai Times, I'll just use the Smith 247. And I'll just kind of bring it down here. Sometimes I have a hard time getting the Sydney Grace shades that are deeper to really blend. That's where I struggle sometimes, and that's where sometimes I like to reach for a palette. I will say that. I'm going to grab my Makeup Geek pencil brush. Same thing, Chai Times, going to grab here. And, try not to distract you too much, but place a little of that Chai Times just kind of underneath the eye. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see. I mean, like when I look down, this, first of all, this has like a little cover over it, and that might be part of my problem. All right, let's move along. Lords of Leaping with the MAC 217 Sydney Grace. Just tap into this outer third here, same as what I did on the other side, just with this side. Okay, now we're seeing it. Do you see the patchiness? Sydney Grace is not one of the better formulas for the deeper plummy shades as far as how I use them, I guess. Maybe I'm just too heavy-handed or something, but and then see how it's patchy? Like right there. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. Like this is camera patchy worthy. Okay. Okay, so there you have it. And I think we can see it also in the tutorial. I know, I don't like to do it either. Yeah, you can see it here. I'm like blending out. Yeah, you can see it. It's a little bit patchy. I wish I could zoom in. I don't know how to do that quite yet, but yeah, I really struggled even with those deeper, like brown, chocolatey brown shades. It was, I mean, it was really challenging as far as like, I don't know that my favorite smoky eye formula comes from Sydney Grace. I will say that. So I love Sydney Grace for those mid-tones, for the beautiful like browns. The shimmers are really opaque and they're just all around good quality. But for that smoky eye, I'm not sure. Okay. And this actually isn't looking that much better, to be honest with you. Okay, let's move into a shimmer, shall we? I'm probably just going to use my fingers because it's just easier that way. Is it Hey Honey or So So Hot? What do you think? That's Hey Honey. That's So So Hot. Let's use Hey Honey. That's way more orange. Ooh. Now is where things get interesting because the formula is a little bit more sheer. Hopefully I'm not like, okay. That's pretty, but it is on the more like sheer side, believe it or not. All right, wipe off my fingers. And I'll probably just use my middle finger in this other one. Actually, let me use my ring finger. It's not Blaze, it's Desert Sun from Sydney Grace. Hold it up for you. Right there. Grabbing that shade, place that pretty much in the center of the lid all the way into the first third. But I'm going to leave that very, very inner portion open. We'll stick something else in there fun. Okay. Right off the bat, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. We'll get really close here. This is a more reddened copper. Is it, would I describe it as copper? Yeah, copper. And this is actually like more of a bronze shade. So that's definitely different. Now on camera, I don't know. You can't really tell the difference on camera too terribly much, but I can see it in person, definitely. Let's move over to, excuse me, Sun's Out. For that, I'll grab the MAC 242. Do not have a setting spray in front of me, folks. This is going to get really interesting. And place that on the very inner third. I think that is a duochrome. I don't know if you can see it or not. And what I like to do is place it right in this area and then bring it up and just kind of, it almost gives it like not a cut crease, but it just kind of brings a highlight right in that area. If you brought your transition shade kind of into the brow area up in here, then this is a nice, I don't know, I like it. For my eye shape, I like it. Okay. So I've got the Repro 02, but I don't really feel like that's going to cut it. Might just have to use the other side of the MAC brush. And we dip into Morningstar for this one, which I was really surprised to see that they were kind of similar. So we'll see how they perform. Tap off any excess. It's going to have some major opacity. You can see it right there. Oops. Inner lid. And then I'm bringing that up and around as well. And I just almost kind of like a shooting star, the tail on a shooting star. That's what I do. And you can kind of see like a thing. And then feather in the, I think it was Desert Sun. Yeah. I keep wanting to say blaze. Feather in that Desert Sun with the Morning Star. And there we go. In real life, I can see a difference. On camera, I think you could pull it off like, oh, they're kind of similar enough. I'm not really sure. Formula-wise, they're very different. I mean, those of you who have purchased Cindy Grace singles or Temptalia's palette, Enduring Love, or I think Mel's palette as well, they're all a very opaque shimmer. And the only difference is like between the foils and, you know, the shimmer. I think this is either Paris or Truth, something like that. But you can definitely tell there's a lot of opacity. When you're talking about the Sunset Strip, there's a lot of different formulations here. So like Shell, yeah, you can see it is kind of transparent, if you will. That you can definitely see right there. Whoops. So you can see the difference. These are very opaque. And the others are just very, you know, very topper-like. Can see some undertone differences if you look really closely, but out in public, I mean, I don't think anybody would look at you and be like, I don't think those are quite matching. My eyes might not be quite like matchy. Oh, look, this doesn't have the paper peeled off of it either. Yeah, in person, definitely can tell the difference. It's like I need more of this shade right here. It's a little bit too light. And then, what was it? Sun's Out, yeah. I'd want to add a little more of that. So, okay, particularly Sandy Cheeks and Shall We Dance are two shades that I think they are high quality shades. I think that Sydney Grace is just, if you want something you can depend on, you go with the Sydney Grace because it's like you're never going to be disappointed. You can always, once you get used to that formula, you can use it and then you know it like the back of your hand. Because there's really only two types of shimmers. There's that metallic foiled and then basically a metallic, if you will. If I had to like find a shade that was very similar, so ooh, I have my JD Glow. I think it's Unexpected. And it kind of looks close to Shall We Dance? Or maybe is it Sandy Cheeks? Do any of those look similar? No. I literally have it over here as a mirror. That's JD Glow's Unexpected. Shall We Dance? You can't really see it. It's a topper shade, and then Sandy Cheeks. So Sandy Cheeks is kind of like Urban Decay, Moondust type of vibe. I'm not really sure what that was. Oh, I think that was my lashes. I got a little overzealous on the, you know, the backstage, and I thought, well, maybe I would like to put some lashes on. No, that's not going to happen, folks. So, yeah, I would say, like, this is not very shimmery, though. That's for sure. Definitely not. So Terra Moons has this shade Meteorite. And it kind of looks like the Shall We Dance. So I'm going to see if they're... This is like the worst camera to be doing this, but... And then Shall We Dance. I don't know, it kind of looks similar. Nope. One's got like a blue and the other one's got like a pink to it. Definitely not similar. They are pretty unique and they're very wearable. So if you were able to snag the palette, I mean, it's a good palette. I'll definitely get some use out of it. Will say, as far as longevity goes, not very long wear time for me. I have very oily lids. And I also do put my sunscreen into like my eyelids. So that's probably also contributing to the oily lid idea. Let me just re-swatch this because my hand is like super dirty. Okay, there's Shall We Dance. Luxie would probably have something, wouldn't they? I think with like Terra Moons, we're just gonna like overshadow things pretty quickly. They're very, very magical. Luxie is a little bit more like you might see this type of formula mainstream. Okay. This right here. Get Naked. Is that not fitting for Sunset Strip to Get Naked? We got to see if this is like a good contender. All right, here's Get Naked. Yeah. It's definitely like, so this has that peachy pink shift, and this is like a blue kind of shift. Kathleen, I do use a primer. I have the Urban Decay Eden, which is for matte, and it provides a little bit of redness cancellation. I have the Lorac eyeshadow primer. I have the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. It has in the past worked for me pretty good. I will say mine's already dried up and it's only been like 2 years. So I'm deciding whether I want to repurchase another one or not. And has anyone heard the back to MAC programs like bye bye? I have like, I don't know how many things saved up, but it was pretty close to 6. I don't see anything else as far as like in my Luxie. Ooh, maybe this one. Let's look at Solstice, and then let's also look at this one right here I seen. This one's Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth is the one that I think looks very, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, that's good squishy. Do they look similar? Oh. I just like dipped my finger in it, but yeah, I would say these are very similar. I was gonna say, if not like the same type of, what is it? Mica. Yeah, like I wish you guys could see this a little bit better, but there you have it. That is my final answer. Probably, what is it? Sweet Tooth. Yeah, pretty stinking close. Yeah, pretty stinking close. I would say this is are the same mica, not the same formula. Oh, let's look at these closer. Okay. Next, I did want to look at Solstice, but I think I found, the answer. Does that one look like Sandy Cheeks? Too Faced, I'm on to you. Okay, so here's this. Yeah. No, it doesn't really look like Sandy Cheeks. It looks better. Here's Sandy Cheeks. Okay, so we've got the other one. It is Sweet Tooth and Shall We Dance. They're very close. I would say the only thing that differs is maybe the formulation. Like you can kind of feel like Luxie's is more softly pressed, and that can easily be changed. I can press it a little harder. Okay. Let me start over. Yeah, I don't have a freestanding store around me either, Sandra, and I have I think 4 collected. So I heard somebody say they're not doing back to Mac anymore. Um, but somebody fact check that because I mean, I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I really do. In this instance, I want to be wrong. So here's Sandy Cheeks. What does that look like to you folks? I really do think that this is more of a like this one. This is Solstice by Luke C. Don't know if you can get this anymore. In fact, I don't think you can. I really do need to go through and just separate out. They're kind of close. This one's more golden. This is more orange, and that's more pink. But you know, this right here is like a satin duochrome. It's really interesting. Andromeda is that one that's close? Nah, this has a blue shift to it. Actually, Sandy Cheeks does have a blue shift to it. Oh my goodness. Did I find it? Okay, this one's a little bit more like beige brown, but I think they're very, very close. I don't know why the Sandy Cheeks, like, I don't swatch very good. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. The pink one, not so much. We'll take that one off. Pink one, not so much. But Andromeda, if you have that, that would have probably, should have probably went in for Sandy Cheeks right there. Let's see here. What's this one? Nope, I can already tell that's like not close. This is the Monarch. You know, a lot of my community has the Monarch. Let's see what it looks like against Sandy Cheeks. It does look like it's going to be like knocking it out of the water, but yeah, it's pretty close. There's Sandy Cheeks. There's Andromeda. So very, very pretty. Okay, so I think that's about it for did I dupe the Too Faced Sunset Strip palette or not? Take a look at my eyes. Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to, experiment with some times, try to catch some times when folks might be able to make it versus, other times when they may not be able to make it. I know YouTube's global, so we have this wonderful time zone thing that we kind of got to go around. But I thought maybe I would try a 5 o'clock my time and see how that goes. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully we'll see you next week. If this time works a little bit better, I'm not as hyper, but I definitely enjoy a 5 o'clock get together. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see next. And I can't wait to see you guys on my next live. Bye.